Okay. So this is today's lesson about Protestantism and how it was a giant medieval psyop. Isn't that cool? Uh, Martin Luther would have read these. He was a monk in Germany, which is where these were kept. And these are Slavic versions of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which I think are older than the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think the Dead Sea Scrolls are copies of this. And I think that, well, that doesn't matter why I think that. Just because there's more of these than there is the Dead Sea Scrolls. So, but anyhow, um, Martin Luther would have read this stuff. Well, this is the same shit that Kurt von Donnegut read that made him write Chariots of the Gods, right? Which kicked off the whole uh, ancient astronaut shit. You know that Yahweh, the biblical God of Israel, is an androgynous, amphibious, self-fertilizing, self-begetting husband, sister, or husband, brother, sister, husband, wife fish god that came from the planet Nibiru. Okay, and he is a interplanetary pedophile looking for love on all the wrong planets. Okay, things make sense now. Okay, so what the Protestant Reformation was a psyop to get the public involved in satanic so-called witch burnings, uh, which, if you read these, which are about those times, this is the Malleus Maleficarum, the witch's hammer, and this is the Compendium Maleficarum, which is like uh, a best hits of this. And there's stories in here. I can't remember exactly where it is right now. I would have to find it, which I don't even remember if it's in this one or this one. But they talk about letting these horrible witches go and burning some bitch that just happened to, cure someone's headache with some tree bark. I mean, that ain't exactly what it was. That I can't remember what the good witch did that got her burned, and but some hoity-toity types came and advocated for the real witch, and they let her go. And Pope Honorius the Third, well, he had his own grimoire, which is black magic. Okay, it's how they got all their incredible wealth. They've been doing this shit forever, forever. Candace Owens, I love you, chick. You're amazing. You're like the baddest fucking thing on 2 feet this country's ever produced. You're a bad mamma jamma, but you are wrong about Catholicism. Dead wrong. Because the only reason Jesus is on that cross is because they fucking put him there. Okay, that's a gangster move. Yeah, that's telling people, that's letting everybody know if you do what he did by teaching it people what we're up to, this will happen to you. Okay? It's why, you see, before 1870, there wasn't even a J in Jesus. It was Isus. Look it up. And that means Zeus. And what was Zeus? Well, he was a fucking homo baby raper. Yeah, he was not a good dude. But Apollo was. And there you have Enki and Enlil and everything else. But that's neither here nor there. So the Protestant Reformation is just total garbage. And as a matter of fact, you know, that's what the Anabaptists are, the Zionists. It's all Frankism. The Sabbatai Zvi. 1666, which 800 years, well, 900 years before that, this here was penned, which is the granddaddy of them all. So they, I mean, they've been doing this shit forever. And Augustine was a fucking nut job. Okay, he fucking hated humans. That's why he was so into celibacy to keep people from breeding. Okay, real fucking simple. As a matter of fact, I believe it was the Gnostics that had to get these people to quit castrating themselves. All because Jesus said, "He who makes himself a eunuch is blessed." Well, it's not a fucking eunuch. It's talking about astral projection. Okay, because when you are outside of your body, your consciousness does not have testicles. Okay, and they knew this shit because the Nag Hammadi explains it all. And it's just disgusting. All people have to do is just read a few books, man. Read the stuff that was banned from the Bible, and you will find out exactly why they wanted it out of the Bible. And then you go to Ethiopia and you see their Bible, and it has 88 books, and ours has 64 or 68, whichever one it is. Sounds like source material to me. But then again, I'm no scholar. I'm just a Gump. Forrest Gump. That doesn't run. That's my story, and fuck you if you don't like it.